Liverpool fans, big news is dropping today. Red circle from Virgil van Dijk's honest Arne Slot verdict to a shocking Darwin Nunez transfer twist. You don't want to miss this. Hit subscribe now and turn on notifications for daily Liverpool updates, only on Anfield Wire. Virgil van Dijk gives honest Arne Slot Liverpool verdict amid brutal well-deserved claim. Virgil van Dijk has waded in on the criticism laid at Liverpool boss Arne Slot this season after calls for the Dutchman to be sacked have arisen following their poor form this season. Virgil van Dijk has defended the criticism directed at Liverpool boss Arne Slot this season but claimed the Dutchman deserves the chance to turn things around at Anfield. Slot arrived at Liverpool in 2024 after being appointed as Jurgen Klopp's successor. In his first season, he led the Reds to Premier League glory with 84 points. However, this season has seen a drop-off for Slot's men, who are currently 6th in the Premier League table. Liverpool have won just 11 of their 24 league games this season and are 14 points behind leaders Arsenal. Xabi Alonso's dismissal at Real Madrid in January has only added more speculation around Slot's future. However, Van Dijk has hinted that some of the talk about the Dutchman has reached the point of borderline disrespect. In his sit-down interview with Sky Sports and Gary Neville, the defender said, "I said it last week and I've said it here, criticism, with the season we're having, is well-deserved because of the way we have been playing at times and the way we have been losing games on the bounce. That's just not the standards that we set, especially last year. But you have criticism, and you have disrespect." Asked if the criticism towards Slot was disrespectful, Van Dijk added, "Well, it depends on what you feel. I've had the question last week as well. Do I think the disrespect is well-deserved? I feel like I don't know, because I don't read it all the time. We are in a process of things and I feel like it just takes time. I don't think Liverpool, from what I know Liverpool as, is a club of making rash decisions and trusting the process. But I know how the world works and the pressure that managers are under and how they are held accountable and responsible for the results that we are getting. I still feel like it's a process and he deserves, in my eyes, that respect and chance to make sure this process ends in a positive way. We just have to keep going." Darwin Nunez transfer twist emerges as Liverpool tipped to re-sign $70 million defender Darwin Nunez looks like he won't be on the move again despite recent reports of an accepted bid. While Liverpool has been tipped to bring one of its former players back, the transfer window may be closed in the Premier League, but elsewhere in parts of Europe, it remains open, with the possibility of players still making moves before the end of the week. Liverpool finished off what was a quiet January by securing the signing of Jeremy Jacquet on deadline day, with the Rennes star set to officially make the move to Anfield in the summer. More defensive options are needed though, and one former Red is being tipped for a return. Meanwhile, speculation has been growing over Darwin Nunez's future, although it seems the former Liverpool striker isn't going anywhere soon. Darwin Nunez will not be heading to Fenerbahce, according to Fabrizio Romano, despite recent reports suggesting that an offer had been accepted by Al Hilal. The Uruguay international has been linked with another transfer just 6 months after leaving Liverpool, with Saudi newspaper Al Riyadh having claimed on X that an offer from Fenerbahce had been accepted. Although the transfer window has closed across most of Europe, it remains open in Turkey until February 6. Romano though has dismissed the possibility of Nunez moving, saying that a deal is not happening and was never close. The striker will be aiming to help Al Hilal to the Saudi Pro League title this season, with his side sitting just 1 point clear of Sadio Mane's Al Nassr. It would certainly be fun to see him back with a European club, and a move to somewhere like Turkey feels like it would make the most sense, given he's unlikely to earn a move to one of the top sides on the continent following his stint at Liverpool. Liverpool has been tipped to re-sign Jarell Quansah next year as replacements for Ibrahima Konate are eyed up. The Frenchman's contract at Anfield expires in the summer, with no signs of an extension forthcoming at the moment. One option could be to bring Quansah back, although the Reds would have to wait a year to do so. Liverpool holds a buyback clause thought to be worth around $69 million following the defender's move to Bayer Leverkusen, which can be triggered in 2027. Although that wouldn't solve the issue of Konate leaving this summer, European football expert Andy Brazel has suggested it could still be a deal Liverpool pursues. "I wonder if at some point Jarell Quansah maybe comes back," he told TalkSport. "I think that has to be a question as well. We've seen that before with players going out to the Bundesliga. Or do you even look at going way back? Look at Dani Carvajal having his year in Leverkusen before going back to Real Madrid and becoming a Real Madrid legend. That's always a possibility, I think. Man United injury latest for Tottenham is update given on two players with one due back soon. Michael Carrick has provided an update on the club's injury situation, with Mason Mount close to returning and Matthijs de Ligt continuing his recovery. Mason Mount is nearing a return to the Manchester United squad following a training injury last week, though Matthijs de Ligt continues to be out with a back issue. Mount was unavailable for the victory over Fulham last Sunday due to a minor knock and sat out Wednesday's training session, but United boss Michael Carrick indicated he was edging closer to a comeback, potentially making himself available for Saturday's clash with Tottenham or Tuesday's fixture against West Ham. However, de Ligt's spell on the sidelines shows no signs of ending soon, reports the Manchester Evening News. The Netherlands centre-half has been absent for over 2 months with a back complaint, and Carrick acknowledged he remained unavailable, though praised his upbeat attitude throughout his rehabilitation. Mason sooner. He's not too far away. We're hopeful it won't be too long, Carrick said. Matthijs de Ligt is working his way back, taking his steps and improving and being really positive. Patrick Dorgu is the only other player missing, having sustained a hamstring problem against Arsenal. United opted against adding reinforcements during the January transfer window, and while preparations are underway for the summer market, Carrick maintained that uncertainty surrounding who would be manager wouldn't pose difficulties. The players have been spot on and fully focused, he said. We're all aware of the bigger situation and what might happen as a player. You focus on what's ahead of you, trying to achieve what you can. I've got no concerns. The lads have been better than you can imagine. We're focused on being better, improving and getting to where we want to be. Small steps, but it's a big end to the season. We've just been introduced to Liverpool's glittering new superstar as Mohamed Salah fades. Our Liverpool FC jury have assembled to discuss the week's goings-on at Anfield, where there's one star name on everyone's lips. It has been a quiet week for Liverpool, giving fans ample time to reflect on last Saturday's terrific 4-1 win over Newcastle United. In what was perhaps the Reds' best Premier League performance of the season, they roared back from a goal down to dismiss the visitors, with Hugo Ekitike's brace just before halftime catching the eye. The Frenchman is now up to 15 goals in his maiden season in English football, and his form has made him the new darling of the Kop at a time when Liverpool have needed a new hero to step forward. He's certainly impressed our jury, who have assembled to discuss Reds matters over the past 7 days. Sometimes you feel that in certain moments, in certain games, that you have a player of real quality, a player who is going to be remembered. High praise indeed, but Ekitike's 2-goal brace in front of a roaring Anfield felt special. It felt like a stage introduction to a glittering new star. We have seen several instances of real quality from Ekitike this season, of course, but the magic we saw against Newcastle is what star players bring you. You can be struggling in a game, but in a moment, in a flick of a ball, the game is transformed. It was this formula that was critical to our success last year. How often did Salah bag goals to ease fan angst, or shift a game? As one star fades, another radiates. Most fans wanted reinforcements in January, but we are going to have to wait. It does leave us walking the rest of the season on a rickety, shaking bridge, though. If Konate or Virgil got injured, we would be in a very precarious position, a position which would make it very difficult to progress in Europe, which is now our only opportunity to salvage what has been a difficult season to stomach given the heights we scaled last year. The modern game demands quick, strong, and athletic players, especially in the Premier League. I have seen very little of Liverpool's new acquisition, Xhaka, but on the eye test, he looks to tick the above criteria, and his profile seems to match our proven-tested formula of young, talented, and hungry players. After a mini renaissance in the Premier League, what can we manage to conjure against City at the weekend? With a full week of recovery, passion, energy, and fight are irreducible minimums. Connectivity and perspective have felt prominent for LFC over the last week. Saturday night's 4-1 win over Newcastle United came with a pleasingly collective verve. Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike dazzled, delivering moments that both echoed yesteryear and gave us good reason to look ahead excitedly. Monday's confirmation that 20-year-old Stade Rennais centre-back Jeremy Jacquet will join Liverpool in the summer offers further long-term encouragement. Meanwhile, the release on club platforms of an interview with Arne Slot, Richard Hughes, and Billy Hogan provided some productive insights. Saturday was also an evening that, heartwarmingly, started with supporters of both clubs affectionately acknowledging Kevin Keegan, who contributed so much to each, following his recent cancer diagnosis. And it concluded with a visibly emotional Ibrahima Konate capping a superb return to action, after the death of his father, with a goal that brought touching reactions from teammates. Perspective in spades. Manchester City, another of Keegan's former clubs, are the next intriguing Anfield opponents on Sunday. It starts a busy week, with a testing trip to Sunderland following on Wednesday and Brighton and Hove Albion visiting in the FA Cup next Saturday. That schedule, in itself, hints at the value of not orienting perceptions around single matches to too great an extent. This weekend, though, does feel like an excellent chance to assess and enhance our progress and that connectivity.